Okay, so we're using a new platform this week. This is Zoom webinar. And the difference is we can't be Zoom bombed. It's going to be a more secure service for us. Unfortunately, we can't see everybody's faces. So we sort of have to toss between security and seeing everyone's faces. So please post in the chat and ask questions, connect with our fellow colleagues in the chat. I am going to talk today about assessment, and I'm going to start by sharing my screen. And I've got lots of ideas about easy assessments for your K-5 music classes. So first thing you have to decide is what you want to assess. So these beautiful What We Will Learn posters were made a couple of weeks ago, and they're in the lesson planning section of Musicplay online. I'll show you where they are. But I pulled out the grade 1, and then I look at it and I go, what do I want to assess from there? And in my world, there are two things that I think are really crucial. I want my kids to be able to sing in tune, to match pitch, and I want them to be able to keep a steady beat. And those are things that don't necessarily happen early in grade 1. It's a developmental thing. So we'll be assessing it all year long, and I've got lots of different ways for us to do it. Eventually, I want my grade 1s to be able to read rhythm. I want them to play instruments correctly. I want them to recognize timbres. And of course, I could have added to this list a lot more, but really and truly, you have to pick and choose your topics. Especially look at your report cards. If your report cards only allow you to assess 3 objectives, then you have to pick 3 fundamental objectives that you want for the kids. So for assessing pitch matching, one of the easiest is hello attendance. As you can hear, my voice is still not working right. I'm only able to sing way down, but I'll give it my best shot. So if I sing, hello, Sarah, Sarah would sing back, hello, Mrs. Gagne, and I'd go down my class list. While I'm checking off that they're there, I would be assessing. You know, a 1, they're using their singing voice. A 2, they're kind of getting some pitches in there. 3, they're getting close to pitch. A 4, they match my pitch perfectly. So that would be my 1, 2, 3, 4. And let's see, yes, I'm going to go through each of these. So another way of getting kids to sing alone is to improvise question and answers. And this can be as simple as, how did you come to school today? I rode an elephant. As we get close to Halloween, a lot of the kids are really excited about that. What kind of costume do you like? And the child could sing, I'll be a movie star, or I'll be a fire person. I won't be a fireman. But that improvising question and answer gives you a chance to it gives kids a chance to improvise melodically. And I try to mix it up and not do all so me, mix it up with all different tone sets so that they experience them. Now, I have my Melody the elephant here. She's a very special elephant, and she'll do whatever the kids sing to her. So if the kids sing, Melody, jump up and down, she'll do it. Melody, do a flip, she'll do a flip. Whatever the kids think up, Melody can do it. And they love Melody. At the end of class, lots of them want to give Melody a hug. Lots of them want to give Melody a kiss. But singing to Melody is something that's really, really fun for the kids, and they really enjoy it. Another little toy that has become really popular is Bobo. And I couldn't find my normal one. I could only find my Easter Bobo. But Bobo sings patterns, and the kids sing them back. Instead of having the whole class sing back the pattern, have Bobo sing to individual kids and have those kids sing back the pattern. Bobo, and the child would sing, Bo, bo, bo. And you can keep going through the whole class until everybody has had a chance to sing to Bobo. This is a beautiful activity, and the kids really, really have enjoyed it. And we really do need to get our crafty Musicplay team members to help us make some new Bobos. Name games, another really good way to get kids singing alone and give them that opportunity to sing alone. So I've got 2 on my list. I'm going to go to Musicplay online and I'm going to find concentration. And I've got 2 concentration games. In fact, it looks like I've got 3. That's in French. And it's spelled the same way, so I didn't realize. So this is the grade 5 concentration game, and I'm going to play you the notation because my singing voice is pretty bad. Concentration, everybody ready. When you hear your name, the game begins. And then I would sing, Denise, Kathleen, and Kathleen would sing, Kathleen, Danae. Danae would sing, Danae, Carrie Lynn. And I have the kids keep a beat with 1 finger. That's not loud. It doesn't drown out the singing, but they're feeling the beat as they're going. And if there is an out, then whoever goes out gets to choose a new tempo. What would you like to go now? Oh, I'd like to go allegro. Concentration, everybody ready. When you hear your name, the game begins. And we'd go allegro. Great way to practice tempo terms. Great way to give kids opportunities to sing alone. And I'm going to go to the other one. The other concentration game was the number concentration game. Early in the school year, this one is really handy because you actually don't need to know the kids' names to play the game. Don't forget your number, don't forget your name. When you're ready, start the game. Don't forget your number, don't forget your name. When you're ready, start the game. So you number off the class, and if I had 20 kids in the class, I'd have numbers 1 to 20. And then I would sing a number 1, and whoever was assigned number 1 would sing their name back to me. 2, they'd sing their name back. I'll show you the kids' demo. They actually show it really well. Don't forget your number, don't forget your name. When you're ready, start the game. 8, 3, 9, 5, 8 and 6, 9, 10, 13, Olivia, 14, Corey. So I can hear all those kids singing by themselves, and every one of those kids was matching pitch. Some had a little better sound than others, but they actually were all successful at matching pitch. So I love those games for pitch matching. So the name games are great for that. Guessing games are another good one. Doggy, doggy, where's your bone? Someone stole it from your home. So the class sings the question. I've got a guesser at the front, and the guesser has their eyes shut. They're not peeking, hopefully. And you give the bone to somebody in the class. And the doggy sings, who has my bone? And whoever's got the bone sings, I have your bone. Of course, what you're going to find with kids, they know each other's voices really well, really early in the year. And so the game goes relatively quickly. One way that I do speed it up, guessing games can get a little tedious if you give every person a turn to be the guesser. What I do, you get a turn to be guesser, you get a turn to have the bone, but not both in the same class. And then we finish the game quite a bit quicker. Often I'll leave the end of the game for another class, because if the kids are getting wiggly and restless, I don't want behaviors to start happening. I want them to still stay involved. So doggy doggy, you're either guesser or you have the bone, but not both in the same day. And I do keep track on my class list of who's had turns. That's all I tell the kids, who's had a turn. But in reality, what I'm doing is I am looking at my rubric. So matches pitches accurately when singing is my objective. So a 1, they continue working towards matching pitch. They're not there yet. They're in their speaking voice, or they're way too low like I am right now. Satisfactory, they're somewhat there. Proficient would be they're usually matching pitch accurately, and excellent is a kid that's consistent 100% of the time. They are matching pitch. So I would just mark in my grade book a 1, 2, 3, or 4, and I've got my assessment done relatively quickly. Another one of the games that's really fun is the Mr. Potato Head game. And my Mr. Potato Head game came from the grandkid's toy closet, and I don't have all his pieces. So all I can use is his arm, his eyes, and his feet. So what we do is we sing the Potato Head song, and I give out the body parts. So everybody in the class has eyes closed. I give out the body parts to 3 kids, and then we sing, "Who has the eyes?" And the child with the eyes, still with everybody's eyes closed, would sing, "I have the eyes." And then I would sing, "Who has the arm?" And again, they still have their eyes shut, but the one who has the arm says, "I have the arm." And then, "Who has the feet?" "I have the feet." So I'm going to switch over to Musicplay Online, and I'm going to search out Mr. Potato Head. Always have to think about how to spell potato. And I'm going to show you the kids demo.
Potato 2, potato 3, potato 4. For Mr. Potato Head, he fell to the floor. 5 potato, 6 potato, 7 potato, 8. Put them back together now, I just can't wait. Who has the eyes?
This little girl did not speak English. She was a little ESL student.
Who has the feet? Raise your hands. Open up your eyes. Okay, you two were not thinking, so you get to guess first. Who do you think has the eyes? There they are. Who do you think has the arm? Okay, is it Calder or is it Richard? Who do you think has the arm? Calder, do you have the arm? There it is. And who do you think has the feet? Richard has the feet.
And it's funny looking at that video because Calder, who had the arm, is now a barista at Starbucks. So it's interesting. These kids have grown up sort of without us even being aware of it. But that Mr. Potato Head is lots of fun for the kids. There's another one who has the pencil that's in kindergarten, and it's a pencil, a ruler, and a book. You need a little mini book for that one. But there's lots of guessing games. In fact, I think if you search guessing games, we should have a list of them that show up. But those are kind of my favorites. We have lots of call and response songs on Musicplay. And when you do a call and response song, you can invite children to either sing the call alone or sing the response alone. So "I'm the Fastest Turkey" is one of my favorite call responses to do with the kids. And if again, I just go to the search and I search Fastest Turkey. There it is. It's in grade 2. I can tell it's grade 2 because it's orange. And it's Canadian Thanksgiving next Monday. So Canadians will be playing this game, and our Americans, you save this one until November.
I'm the fastest turkey. I'm the fastest turkey. In the barnyard. In the barnyard. You can't catch me. You can't catch me. For your supper. For your supper.
And of course, you could sing "For Thanksgiving" instead. And so the cook did not catch the turkey. He gets tofu for supper instead of turkey for supper. And I have both kids sit inside the middle, and then we choose a new cook to walk around, tags a turkey that they chase after. But I'm keeping track of who's had turns to be the turkey. They love this game. They'll play it 2 or 3 classes happily in a row. And that way I get a chance to give everybody a turn to be the turkey in the call response song. Okay, go back here. Sing a phrase of a song alone. This might I actually really like this idea. I was going to use counting song, but I'm going to use, I'm going to go back to my song list, and I'm going to use, I'll use engine number 9. And it's right here in grade 2. It's a So Me song. And I am going to do it from the beat and rhythm activities. So the first activity is to point to the beat.
Ready, go, engine number 9, going down the railroad line. If the train goes off the tracks, will I get my money back?
So that's just to practice the song, pointing to the beat as the song is playing. The next activity, it looks the same. We're going to have to change this up a bit. I've got the ability to hide these beats. And what I might do is have the class sing, and then they hide it in their heads. The class sings, and then they hide it in their heads. Or what I could do is I could say, okay, I would like to invite somebody to sing a line by themselves. So let's have Sarah sing the first line. She's going to sing Where It's Orange. Everybody points to the beat while Sarah sings. And then the class sings the second line. And then let's have Carter sing the third line all by himself. And the class sings the fourth line. This is something I learned from Artie Almeida. I've learned so much from that lady. She's a wonderful teacher. And she did a whole pointing page book. And the idea with this is, as the kids are hearing another child sing, they're audiating. They're hearing the song in their head. So Sarah sings alone, engine number 9. The whole class sings, going down the railroad line. And now Carter sings, if the train goes off the tracks. And now the whole class sings, will I get my money back? And my hope is that the class will eventually be able to sing that entire song inside their head and be able to tap the beats on a beat chart while they're doing that. But that's a good way to use solo singing. And of course, it's teaching them beat and rhythm as well. I'll come back to this with the beat charts. So if you have kids sing a phrase of a song alone, if you're doing counting song, you say, okay, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 phrases in here, and students 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are going to sing. Student 1, 1, 2, tie my shoe. Next one, 3, 4, shut the door. Next one, 5, 6, pick up sticks. So you can have kids sing a whole song by themselves. And little ones are not nervous about this. Older kids, a little bit different. In fact, I didn't put it in here and I should add it. For older students, I like to do what I call the 3-second listen. I'm going to add it in here before I forget. This is number 9, 3-second listen. And I take a longer song that they've worked on for quite a while, and I will play the recording of the song. Sometimes I have to play it twice to get through a whole class, but I'll play the song. I'll ask the class to stand in class list order. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, going around on the back of the next row. And then I take my class list in hand and I go, and as the recording is playing, the kids are singing, and I listen to each student up close for 3 seconds. And that's all it takes for me to tell if they're matching the pitch of the recording. And sometimes kids are helped along by everybody else. So it's not exactly an assessment of solo singing, but it's an assessment of whether they can match pitch when they are with the whole group. And the whole group is sometimes helping them along. And again, you can use the 1, 2, 3, 4 assessment, because you can tell that quickly if kids are matching pitch. I've often done this in choir just to see how well, where our really strong voices are. And then you find out. So 3-second listen, great way for your older students. Grade 5, grade 6, they hate singing by themselves. And so let's give them a way that we can assess them without making them feel uncomfortable. So we've split up the objectives. Objective 1 is matching pitch. Objective 2, we want them to sing with that nice, light, clear tone in their head voice. And so that's a separate assessment here. Okay, steady beat. This is the other big one. So first, you want to, there's lots of ways to keep a beat. And one of the simplest for kids is an action or a movement song. And probably the best one that I can think of is in the song list, first song in pre-K. If you haven't used this 400 times yet this year, you're an exception to the rule. Let's just use the lyrics video. And I'm watching them, how well they're keeping the beat. Time for music, clap your hands, clap your hands, clap your hands. Time for music, clap your hands with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And now pat your knees. Pat your knees, pat your knees. And I don't have to do the whole song, but the whole song will give me time after the kids know this and they've done it for 4 or 5 weeks. Put the song on and tell them you're going to watch how well they can do it all by themselves today. You've got your class list and you're doing a checklist. Are they keeping a steady beat? It's just a yes or a no. No rubric needed. Check, 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 check. No. Check, 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 check. No. Most of your kids will be successful with it. You will get the odd one that isn't. But Time for Music is a really, really good example. The Shake It is another really good example. Elephants Have Wrinkles is also in pre-K, but if you haven't been to the Movement Fun module, you need to know where this is. Select Learning Modules, select General, and Movement Fun is right here. And any one of these songs would be a great movement song for you to assess whether the kids are keeping a steady beat. So the one I was thinking of was Shake It. And let's scroll down till we get to Shake It. And I'm going to get you to stand up where you are. I know you've worked all day and I haven't, but I shouldn't say I haven't. I haven't been working with kids all day.
Let's clap our hands and stamp our feet. Let's tap our hips. It's really neat. Let's pat our knees and feel the beat.
Here's the beat.
Let's shake it, shake
And I
it,
get
shake it,
lots of
and
opportunities
shake it,
to
shake
see
it,
if they're
and
keeping a
shake
beat
it,
with
shake it,
this.
shake it, and stop. Let's tap our cheeks and stamp our feet. Let's tap our bottoms. It's really neat. Let's tap our chest and feel the beat.
And here again, I get opportunities to observe if the kids are keeping a steady beat.
Let's tap a drum and stamp our feet. Let's tap a drum. It's really neat. Let's tap a drum and feel the beat.
And here we got the beat going again.
Shake it, shake it, and shake it, shake it, shake it, and shake it, shake it, shake it, and stop. Let's clap our hands and stamp our feet. Let's tap our hips. It's really neat. Let's pat our knees and feel the beat. Let's shake it, shake it, shake it, and 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 stop.
So I hope you enjoy those songs. They are not in the song list yet, but we've got plans this year to put those all in the song list. So again, to find that Movement Fun module, you go to Learning Modules, to General, and here's the Movement Fun favorites. And just FYI, lots of instrument kit songs here in the Hall of the Mountain King, ready for Halloween. I was looking for the no touch singing games, and how did I miss them? No touch games, right there. No touch games are really good again. So another really good way, and again, I'm looking for activities that are going to stretch the kids musically as well as simply assessing beat, is Copycat with a short musical example. And we have some good examples of this in the listening kit section. Listen 1, listen 2. We've picked short examples, or sometimes we've cut the excerpts a little bit, but I really like 36, 36 is a jig, a little jig by Handel. The kids really enjoy this. And I am going to do the copycat. So what I would do with this is I would choose leaders, and each leader would lead a section of the piece. In fact, I can show you the kids' demo of this. And this is a really interesting example because you'll be able to see some of those kids are really good at keeping a steady beat, some of them not so much. This was in kids' classroom, right? So the little girl with the jean jacket is leading, and she's a mile off the beat. So that for me would be a number 1. She doesn't have it yet. Now number 2, the little guy with glasses, and look how well he's keeping a beat. Number 3 is awesome. So number 3 would absolutely be a 4 in my grade books. This one would probably be a 3, and she would be a 1 because she's doing better now, but still not quite there. Now our last one. And she's doing the macro beat and doing it well.
Okay, now the 4 who are at the front, they were on either, so we get to take them out. Or look over your toes, there you go.
And then you choose 4 more because they all want turns. They all get to hear that little piece by Handel. I mean, if there's 20 kids in the class, you're going to do it 5 times so that everybody gets a turn to be the leader. You on your class list are checking off that they've had turns and assessing 1, 2, 3, 4. How well are they doing? Rhythm practice. This is in the rhythm practice section. We have some really, really good examples of prepare rhythm. So I'm going to go into rhythm practice, and I'm going to go into prepare rhythm. And here we have some beautiful body percussion videos. I'm going to do the keep the beat, play a little bit of this one. And you can do the beat with me. I don't remember what I did, so we're all going to be practicing it together. And again, I won't do the whole selection, but there's a number of them in here, and we're talking today, we really want to do more. So there's lots of variety, and we're going to get a variety of people in doing that as well. I want to go back to rhythm. Just FYI, everybody who's on the webinar gets first look at new things on the site. From this section of rhythm practice down to this section of rhythm practice, I have made flashcards. So here is the level 4 4-beat flashcards, and these are yours to download and to print out. And we're going to eventually have them for all sections of rhythm practice, but the first ones are from the tide notes on to the end. I'm not sure why I didn't start with Ta and Titi, but I didn't. Now, looking at the checklist, this is my beat and rhythm checklist for grade 1. And this is for a whole year. This isn't for one term. This is for a whole year. But I've started with what I think is the easiest: beat, tap, steady beat on the body, or claps, a steady beat, like in Time for Music. Here's number 2, yes, no. They can tap a steady beat on a beat chart. So when we were doing engine number 9, be aware that for every one of those songs that has those, I'm in practice on song list, that has those beat and rhythm activities, they also have beat and rhythm printables. So here's the beat pointing page that is specific to engine number 9. And when I took this I had taken it into a grade 1-2 split classroom. I was surprised. I thought this was going to be something really easy for the kids. It was not. It was something that they could use extra practice doing. They weren't solid. This 16 beat chart is the one that I took in. It's generic. It works with any 16 beat song so that you don't have to photocopy class sets of 10 different songs. You can photocopy a set of one set of beat charts, and then the kids tap on the beat for that. And you'll notice I've made the first of each line a little bit bigger because those are our accented beats. So engine number 9 is where, and you'll find beat and rhythm printables. It's where you'll find the generic beat chart. So that's tapping a steady beat on a beat chart. I think it's a really good skill because kids are learning to track left to right. And you can really see when they're doing this, who's got it, who doesn't. It's a yes, no. Moves to show steady beat. So we're going to do that in the next slide where you do larger body movements. We've done all small non-locomotor movements here, but we can move with our feet to show the beat as well. We can play the beat on an instrument. And again, that's something that you would expect every child can do, but of course they can't. So you want to find a play along song where you can watch the kids. You can leave them on their own and you can observe. So I'll let you look through these in the steps. Steps, beat, claps, rhythm. That's differentiating between beat and rhythm. They can read the rhythm patterns. End of grade 1, mid grade 1, I would expect that they can do this, and we do have a rubric for that. They can clap it, they can play it. That's different than saying ta, ti, ti, sh. To play requires a level of coordination that's a little greater. Reads the rhythm of a song. We have 4 ways to teach songs. Way 1, we teach by rote. I sing, you sing. Way 2, we teach by reading the song. Way 3, we teach by immersion, where you play the song and you have the kids keep a beat with it or do actions with it, and they eventually just pick it up because they've heard it that many times. But I know when I came out of university, I thought rote and reading were the only 2 ways. And I know a lot of really, really good music teachers that teach everything by rote. And you don't have to. If you have a song that kids can read, by all means, have them read it. Let's go into the song list and find any simple reading song. So we could have them read, the counting song. And I'm going to pull this up in the concept slides. And I can again go full screen. So now, class, I'd like you to read me the taws and the TTs. Ready, go. Ta, ta, ti, ti, ta, 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 ti, ti, ta. Not just reading flashcards. Reading actual music is really, really good for kids. So you've got all these reading songs available to you on Musicplay. The concept slides are a quick way to pull up the reading songs and find them. If you're wondering how I picked out so quickly, if I go back to my search, I searched by grade 1 and any of the songs that have the simple reading, the ta, the TT, I could pick any of those and they'll all have all those wonderful beat and rhythm resources. Okay, I am going to go on to the next page, which is steady beat with locomotor movement. So this again is more challenging than just doing time for music, clap your hands, because they're going to be moving their feet and their whole bodies. So again, this is a little bit further along. That would be here on the beat chart. And good ones for that, if I was in grade 1, Hop Old Squirrel is really good for it. I'm going to share Hey Betty Martin, and I thought it was earlier. If I can't find it right away, I'll search for it. It's 24. I wasn't looking quite in the right place. So let's, we'll use the notation.
Hey
not going to keep hopping, but I would go through the whole class and invite them to think of different ways for Betty Martin to move. So if Sarah says, hey, Betty Martin, stomp, 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 then we would sing, hey there, Sarah, stomp, 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 stomp. Hey there, Sarah, stomp so fine. If Carrie Lynn says, we're gonna jump, jump it, jump there, Carrie Lynn, Carrie Lynn, Carrie Lynn, jump there, Carrie Lynn, jump so fine. And I will try and give every child in the class a chance to do it. And again, if I've got my class list in hand, there's the opportunity to assess how well they are moving with locomotor movement to a steady beat. So the examples I would use are Choo Choo Train, Engine Number 9, Hop Old Squirrel, Hey Betty Martin, Snail, Snail, any song where they travel. So the play along and the follow a leader with a piece of classical music, if you are picking from other sources, find one with a nice, strong, steady beat. That's about 120 beats per minute. So that is lots on steady beat. I don't think we're quite done. We're going to do rhythm patterns. So read rhythm patterns in the rhythm practice section. We have, there's tons of ways to do this. So read the rhythm patterns in the rhythm practice section. There's a rhythm reading assessment, which I love for assessing the entire class. So if I want to assess, I'm going to go to the ties. If I want to assess rhythm reading of ties, I could print out and download my flashcards and I could use them for assessment. Or I could go down to the rhythm reading assessment, and then I can go through my entire class. I've got 25 patterns. So if I've got 25 kids in the class, each one is going to do one pattern.
Ready? Go.
Ta, ta, ta. Next student, your turn. Ready, go. Ta, ti, ti, ta. Third student, it's your turn. Ready, go. Ti, 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 ta. Fourth student, it's your turn. Ta, sh, ta. So we're going to do this as a slideshow as well as a video in case you've got kids that are feeling under pressure when they have to read theirs in turn. But I know I did this with a grade 3 class, and it was awesome because they realized that they were accountable individually for being able to read. So very, very quick way. Again, if you line your kids up in class list order, A, B, C, D, E, F, G on the bottom row, next row, I would just keep going. You can assess an entire class in about 3 or 4 minutes. So that is a very quick and easy assessment way. Read the rhythm of a song as we did with reading the rhythm of counting song. Do rhythm play-alongs with instruments. So if you go into the instrument section, and the instrument section is here, and I go into unpitched, I'm going to do instrument kits and leave the holidays out. But this play along, great one for assessing the little guys. I would do this pre-K on up to about grade 2 or grade 3. And they simply play along. And then I can observe how well they are matching the beat, how well they're keeping the beat with their instruments. So we've got it as a concept slide. We've also got it as a video now. So you can do it as a video if you prefer. So that's quick way assess if they're playing the instruments accurately. If you are doing a little Orff song, you can use this to assess. You can use this again to assess that they're, sorry, I lost it for a second there, if they're keeping a beat. So reading the rhythm of a song, that's what we want kids to do, to be a lifelong musician. The ability to read music is incredibly important. Okay, we're away from beat. We're away from reading rhythm. Now we're looking at their instrument playing ability. And so that play along, whatever instrument you have given them to play with, if it's a hand drum, are they holding it correctly? Are they tapping it and bouncing off? Or are they doing this? And you can observe as they're playing, if they're playing it correctly or not. And again, very, very quick way to do it. Pre-K, K1, where we say ORF, we don't have an arrangement. We just expect that you'll have a solid bordune with a simple reading song, for example, counting song. And you just expect them to play out. My instrument's back there, you can't see it. But I can observe the kids playing the barred instruments. In grades 2, 3, 4, 5, I would observe them playing part of an ORF arrangement. So if you want to know where ORF arrangements are on the site, go to any grade level and you can see over here in this column, all of these songs have full ORF arrangements. Okay, I like Rocky Mountain. Let's have a look at Rocky Mountain's ORF arrangement. And this looks like a good ORF arrangement for grade 3s. My 3rds might have troubles with that glockenspiel part. I might just leave it out, but everything else looks quite doable. So once you've taught the parts, then you assess the kids. How well are they able to play those parts? And some, of course, are going to be trickier than others. So you put the kids on the parts that can handle the more difficult parts. So here's some playing instrument rubrics. We have a lot of these on the site now in lesson planning, and we're going to be adding the new rubrics to the site probably within a month. You can look for these and we'll let you know when they're there. But I want to make sure that they can hold and play the instrument correctly. So not yet able to, somewhat able to, nearly always holds and plays correctly, 100%. This one holds and plays correctly. And when it comes to mallets, I want them to be able to hold like this. When I was teaching bucket drumming last year, I started by tapping thumb against my knuckle and then put the stick there, and then they bounce up and down. And that's a skill by itself, to hold the mallet and play bordunes correctly. Often the kids will do this, where they just put the mallet and they don't bounce it up. So getting that bounce when they're playing the mallets, that's another skill. So instrument rubrics to assess both of those. Assess timbre. So I love the 4 voices activity that comes with kindergarten number 7. This is my speaking voice. This is my speaking. I use it every day. I use it every day. This is my whisper voice. It's quieter this way. It's quieter this way. This is my shouting voice. This is my shout. It sounds like a fight. It sounds like a fight. This is my singing voice. It sounds just right. It sounds just right. So that particular activity is my introduction to types of voices for kindergarten, and it's in kindergarten, and it's number 7. So you can use the video to teach it. I love this interactive activity for practicing. So the poem is 1, 2, 3, 4, meet me at the kitchen door. 5, 6, 7, 8, hurry, don't be late. I pat on hurry, don't be late. So now the kids get to decide which voice they want to use. So let's use whisper voice for the first 2 and shouting voice for the last 2 lines. Let's do it together. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, meet me at the kitchen door. 5, 6, 7, 8, hurry, don't be late. And we'll rearrange as many times as the kids are engaged for. But once they've done that many times, then I can pull up the types of voices assessment. I can, oops, that's the cards. I can pull up the assessment and I can do a couple of examples for them. Class, I'm going to say the 1, 2, 3, 4 poem and you circle if you think it's a speaking, a whisper, a shouting, or a singing voice. 1, 2, 3, 4, meet me at the kitchen door. 5, 6, 7, 8, hurry, don't be late. Which voice did I use? Circle it. So that would be the singing voice. So assessment is given to you in that particular lesson. And that is my favorite lesson for teaching types of voices. Assessing timbre, the mystery box. And where is, I've got the top to my mystery box and I don't have the bottom of it. Oh no, my mystery box isn't handy. Okay, I didn't go far enough. What I do with the mystery box is I put instruments that the kids are familiar with that I've demonstrated in class into that box, and then I play them inside the box and the kids have to identify them. They love this. I will go to the website and I'm going to search for mystery box because I know we've got it on the site. Okay, I'm going to do it right here. So this is what it looks like. I brought the mystery box today. And look, it got decorated. Isn't it nice now? No, we can. Okay. What is this? Matthew? I'm the one who starts with a T. Tambourine. Allison. Oh, tambourine. Does a tambourine make a short sound or a long? And we went on and on. But that's a fun way to practice timbre with your little ones. I'm not going to do any written assessments with my littles, but I can certainly assess orally and see who's got the instruments, who doesn't. On the website, we have games. What instrument did you hear? So you go into the games section. And what instrument is right there? There's 20 different examples. So potentially what you could do is instead of having the kids do the answers, you go through the game and you hit the frog to play. And you could have the students write down what the answer was. And I can skip it. I can go to the next without actually having to answer it. So this is question 2, class. Which instrument do you think that is? And they would write it down on their paper and I can skip to the next. So you can use this as an assessment for instruments. The other really good assessment for orchestral instrument, oops, wrong, is to go into units and go into orchestra and instruments of the orchestra. And we have assessment activities right here. So there's 10 questions. You press the play button down here. And here, oops, I don't know why that did that. The answers are written down underneath. I'm going to go to the next, go back. So the answers are written underneath. So if the kids aren't sure how to spell, the answers are here so they can do it. So there's 2 sets of these assessments, assessment 1, assessment 2. So that's in the orchestra unit. That's a lot of assessment material in one short presentation, but you have to look at your own scope and sequence, pick out what's most important, find out what you're allowed to put on your report card, focus on that for first term, and then second term, and then third term and fourth term, or if you only have 3 terms. But assessment is important. We need to show that our subject area has skills and content that are important for kids to learn. And if we don't assess it, we don't have any real way of being accountable. And we want to see progress. We want to see growth with our kids. If we do a rhythm assessment in September, we want to do that same rhythm assessment at the end of the year and the kids nail it because they've learned so much. So that's my hope for assessment, is that it helps us all become stronger teachers. Okay, I'm going to go back to the site, and Carrie Lynn, if we have any questions, I would love you to give them to me.
Yeah, actually, so can you go back to Musicplay Online and show where people can find the rubrics when we get them up?
Okay, so we do have some rubrics now. If this scrolls, if my cursor's in the middle, if my cursor's over here, this scrolls. So lesson planning was temporarily hidden because I had my cursor in the middle. So if I go into planning resources for any grade, I'm going to go into grade 1 because I know there's lots there. I have my year plan. I have my month outlines. These are well worth downloading. And then I have assessment and tracking charts. And this is where we will put the rubrics. We don't have them here yet. We've got lots of checklists, but I think what we're developing is better than what's there now. So I would wait until we have the new ones there. I put in the Beat and Rhythm reading assessment checklist, and this is in the new, but if you want it now, you could download this now. So this is for rhythm reading. Here's my Beat and Rhythm instrument checklist for grade 1. And we've done a checklist for every grade. So that, I hope, is helpful. But that's where it's going to go. So it's going to go into lesson planning. And it's going to go into lesson plans in planning resources. If you were looking for the what we will learn, it's on the other side of the lesson planning. This is the overview side. So advocacy posters are here, scope and sequence and year plans here for K-6. And here's the what we will learn. So I had brought up the what we will learn in grade 1 music. It's here for you to download and print. Okay, more questions.
Perfect. You actually answered one of them already, so excellent.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, so is there a way to build my own lesson plan on Musicplay that could have some of these ideas connected? So I'm thinking like my list.
I'm thinking my list would be the best way. So if I want to to make a new list, I go to add new, and I'm going to call my new list rhythm assessment. And after I've created that list, I go to where I want to assess. So I'm going to go to rhythm practice. I'm going to go to prepare rhythm, and I'm going to use move to the beat 1. And down here is add to my list. I'm going to put it into rhythm assessment, and I'm going to say this is move to the beat 1, add it to my list, and now I've got it. If I wanted to do some of those rhythm reading assessments, I'm going to go to the end of this one, and I'm going to go to the rhythm reading assessment. I only want 4 beats. And again, I add it to my list. I add it to rhythm assessment, and I'm going to call this reading assessment level 4-1. And it's added. Now, when I come back to my lists, I look at rhythm assessment, and I have the prepare rhythm move to the beat. I have the reading assessment level 4. So you can add the games, you can add the songs, you can add the interactives, any of that stuff can be added to your my list.
Perfect. Okay, excellent. Yes, I think we answered the question. Ooh, okay. So we do have a general question, and I'm not sure if we can answer this, but where do you find the assess section on Musicplay Online?
Right now, the assess section, we still have a little bit of work to do. In fact, we probably could put that up even maybe this week, even if it's first version.
Definitely. Yeah. I always like a good V1.
Yeah, I mean, we can put it up here. So it's going to go into lesson planning, and it's going to go into planning resources. And what we'll do is we'll put it here. I think we'll take these out, or maybe not, because sometimes people like having those extra things here. But we'll put rubrics and assessments in here in the overview.
Perfect. And we're hoping to also get a copyable Google Sheets in there as well, so save you some typing. Alrighty, so, and then I think our last question is kind of something that you talked about earlier, which is, I teach K-8 online, only 40 minutes a week. I feel like I can't cover enough. What should I do?
So if they're only giving you 40 minutes a week, you might only be able to do a half or 3/4 of your curriculum. So again, go into the lesson planning and go look at the what we will learn, and then get realistic. How much of this can we actually teach? And if you're online teaching solfege, I don't think I would go there. So I would just stick to high, medium, low. Melodies go up, down, or same. Rhythm reading is going to be a little bit easier to do online, so you can maybe cover more of these objectives. Realistically, are you going to get them to half notes, whole notes, half rests, whole rests? Maybe, maybe not. Honestly, with the rhythm practice section, I just went and added the flashcards for ties, half notes, half rests, whole notes. I think you can actually, this is actually doable. Timbre, they're not in person. It's going to be way tougher. You might be able to teach woods, metals, shakes and scrapes, and drums, but maybe not everything. Form, maybe, maybe not when you're online. So I think you need to just pick what you can effectively do for the teaching situation you're in. And we can't do everything when we don't get the kids. I mean, I need the kids twice a week, and I had them twice a week for 30 minutes. Once a week for 40 minutes is okay. If that's what you have to use, you use it. But just don't beat yourself up if you don't get through everything that's on this list.
Perfect. I think that helps. We have another person who's not singing. So we can't sing this year indoors. Should I teach solfege or only note names?
I would say if you can't teach singing, I would leave the solfege out, and I would just teach note names. We have some options it's in the toolbox. In the toolbox, we have virtual instruments. So even if your kids don't have these instruments, if they have devices, they can pull it up. And so what we did last year, because a lot of schools couldn't do recorder, we built this recorder xylophone tool. And I can choose my recorder song from here, and then I can play it on the xylophone. And that's probably a better fit for note reading and reading pitches than teaching solfege when you can't sing.
Perfect. Okay. And that actually wraps us up for all the questions.
We also have a YouTube channel. I'm going to just search Musicplay YouTube channel, and there is our Musicplay YouTube channel. And so you can certainly subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we have been adding lots of how-tos. We've been adding all the webinars. So all the webinars that I've done are here. Here's a lesson on how to make practice pads out of a yoga mat. And all our Ready Set Plan online lessons are here. So lots and lots in our YouTube channel.
Perfect.
98.8 thousand subscribers. We're aiming for 100,000. So tell your friends.
Yeah. Alrighty.
Okay, well, thank you everybody for coming and spending this hour with me. I hope you've gotten some good ideas. We always welcome your suggestions and your comments. New webinar topic suggestions would be welcome. We're planning right now what to do up until Christmas, and a lot of it will be seasonal, but general topics like assessment I think are important to do as well. So let us know what would be important and valuable for you. Thank you so much.